place for your amazing host.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sandals Church Kids. Here at Sandals Church, we are all about the vision of being real with ourselves, God, and others. My name is Joelle.
And I'm Chanel. We're so excited to hear about week 6 of the outline. This week, we'll see what happens at Babel, in the town of Babylon, in Talking to a Wall from Genesis.
We'll learn how people tried to reach up to the place of God instead of letting Him reach down to us.
Let's check it out.
Coming up.
Find out what happens when I make this invisible coloring book reappear.
Should we tell Mrs. Coyote that she wasn't holding anything in her hand?
Well, if she doesn't know now, she'll figure it out eventually. But now it's time to move on to one of my favorite segments called Mail Time.
Hey everyone, Mr. Coyote here with Robot Jeff for another round of mail time. We love receiving mail from you guys, and also we love sending it back to you. So today we have 3 letters. It's actually from 2 different families. So we have a letter from Caitlin and Gavin. They sent us 2 separate letters because it was double important. I'm excited to read these right now. And we have another letter from Sophie. So we're gonna read Gavin and Caitlin's letter right now. From California. Ooh, check this out. Caitlin drew an amazing scarecrow on her letter. I absolutely love this. I love that you used pencil to kind of mock up what you wanted to do, and then you went back in with marker. I do this a lot too when I'm drawing. I'll draw something in pencil to kind of figure out the shapes that I want to do, and then I'll go back in and color it. And Caitlin says, I have 2 brothers and we love watching you guys on the weekends. What would your dream pet be and why? I want to read your brother's letter too while I'm thinking of what my dream pet would be. So Gavin wrote, hi, my name is Gavin. I love you and Chris. And can you draw a tree? I drew a tree too. Look at this awesome tree. Okay, I love the little knots of wood, or this is maybe a place where some critters can climb into this tree. And it looks like maybe it's an apple tree or a cherry tree or something with red fruit in there. You know what this could be too? This could be like an elevator. Like maybe there's a family of animals, critters. One sleeps on the bottom bunk and the top bunk and the middle bunk. Have you guys ever seen a triple bunk bed? I've never seen that before. Ooh, that could be really fun. Looking at your tree and you asking me to draw a tree as well, I think I know what my dream pet would be. It would be a squirrel. I really like squirrels. I love their big bushy tails, and there's a bunch of squirrels that climb our tree, and I think I'm going to fulfill both of your drawing challenges right now by drawing a squirrel in a tree. Okay, there we go. There is my squirrel in a tree, and I think it would be my dream pet because it would be fun to have it inside, but also have it climb around over the trees and over our roof and everything. Thank you guys so much for sending that drawing challenge. I love drawing squirrels. And our second letter is from Sophie from California. Look at this. We got some Frozen stickers. We've got Sophia the First. We've got from Sleeping Beauty. And this Ninja Turtles sticker is not actually a sticker. It is a tattoo. I'm gonna have to do this later, or maybe my kids will get to do it. This is so awesome. Thank you for sending this. Not only that, but you decked out your letter with some awesome stickers too. And let's see, you wrote, Dear Sandals Church kids, we love watching your videos. I love the songs, the lessons, and the pre-show videos. Love, Sophia. P.S. Can you draw a pigacorn? Of course I can draw a pigacorn. I feel like drawing a something-a-corn is pretty easy because the tip is you just draw the thing and then you put a little triangle on the top of their head. So you could draw a pizza corn, or you could draw a sheep corn. You could draw a unicorn corn, which would be a unicorn with corn on its head and another corn on its head. You could draw lots of different corns, but right now I'm going to fulfill the challenge of a pigicorn. All right, Sophia, I hope that you enjoyed the drawing of this pigicorn, and thank you for that awesome challenge. We'll make sure to get it back to you. And you know what? We love sending mail to you guys, and it's really easy to participate. All you have to do is send us mail at 150 Palmerita Avenue, Riverside, California, 92507. We love reading the letters that you send us, fulfilling the challenges, singing songs, praying for you guys, and all of those things, and we love sending letters back to you. So make sure to send us a letter, and we'll see you guys next time.
What is up, guys, and welcome to today's Food Taste Challenge. First off, this is Belle right here, and this is Maddie, and they are honorary Sandals Church Kids members today. Full circle, and now you're here, and you're about to eat some weird food.
That's true.
You
I'm
ready?
very excited, though.
On each plate is gonna be 2 different food items. One is gonna be an on-brand type of food, and one is an off-brand. But not only that, Maddie is actually gonna operate as her hands, and she will feed Belle the food that is presented. I'm so excited to see what happens right now. So let's go ahead and start with our first food item. So audience, just so you know, this one is the on-brand version. This one is off-brand. She found her mouth. We're doing so good. Down the chute. What are we experiencing in this moment?
cheesy.
Cheesy.
Yeah,
It's a
cheesy.
cheesy item.
It feels almost like a Cheez-It or a goldfish. Or...
Okay. So you've received one of the items, and
Okay.
now it looks like you are going to receive the
The
other
other
one. Any immediate reactions?
The second one's definitely better. I would say the second one would be the on-brand version.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got it right.
Yeah, I did.
All right, audience, so here is the next plate that we are presenting to her. This is a cookie.
Ooh.
This one is the on-brand version. This one's off-brand, so let's see how she does. Which one's going in first?
Well, it's crunchy. Definitely very sweet.
Okay,
Chocolatey.
okay.
Option 2.
Yes,
Okay.
here it is, here it is.
Where? Oh, bigger. Oh my goodness.
It's definitely bigger. I should have brought you some sort of liquid.
Oh, some sort of liquid would have been great. I'm gonna go with option A being the Oreo.
Okay, she said option A was the Oreo, and actually, option B was the Oreo.
What?
What?
That's a tiny Oreo.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next food item. You're doing great.
Thank you.
This is a chip. This is on brand. This is off brand.
Ooh. Oh. I'm loving this like sweet and salty vibe.
Oh, yeah, this is good. Option A.
Okay, option A. Wow, that
I
was a
think I ate
beautiful
it.
sound.
It was great.
Oh, delicious.
Okay, so
So
salty.
that was the first one.
That was the first one.
All right, give me the second one.
I think there's a chip just on your shirt. I'll try it too.
Very similar.
Yeah, they're similar. I'll be really impressed if you can get this.
I'm gonna go with the second one being the on-brand one.
And you got it.
Yeah.
Plate number 4. This is on brand. Oh my goodness, that was an aggressive sniff. This is off brand on this side.
It smells
Okay.
like the movie theaters. Oh, it's very good.
It's good, right? And now I'm gonna give you option B.
Option 2 definitely has a little bit more butter. I'm gonna say that option 2 is the on-brand one.
You got it. Let's go ahead and move on to our next item. We have cereal. This one is on brand. This one is off brand.
Ooh.
Really well done. Okay. What are you picking up?
Oh, it's a marshmallow. I'm gonna go with this is like some kind of Lucky Charms. Don't know if it's on-brand or off-brand yet, but
Okay, she got that one. I think she's now going to present you with
processing
the
it.
second item.
Okay.
What are we
Oh.
thinking?
Oh wait, these are crunchier.
Interesting. That could just mean they're stale.
These are thicker.
Okay, so thicker, a little bit crunchier.
I'm going to go with option A, As the on brand.
Option A is the on brand. You nailed it again. All right, you guys, we are here for our very final round. So let's see what we have. So we have a beverage in here. This is on brand. This is off brand. Let's see if Belle can figure this out.
I'm going to go with a darker type soda.
Darker
It is
soda.
definitely bubbly.
Okay, so we're sensing some carbonation. Option 2. Let's see what you think.
I like the first one better.
You like the first one
I
better.
do. I like the
Okay.
first one better.
Okay.
This one doesn't have as much flavor in it.
Not as much flavor.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
It's not as pungent, you know?
Okay.
The other one just had a little
A little
to
bit
it.
more subtle.
Yeah, this one is. Can I try the other one?
Yeah.
Just one more
Okay,
time.
let me just slide it to Maddie. She's gonna help you out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one.
So you would say this one
this
that you
one.
just had is the on-brand version. Well, you're wrong.
Well,
Option number 2 was the on-brand version.
can I ask what the other one is?
It's Dr. Shasta. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna go
so
get me
close.
some
So
Dr.
close.
Shasta after
Okay,
this.
Maddie, you can take a break. Ladies, super great job. Out of 6 food items, you got 4 of them right. So that's more than half. Super, super well done. We hope that you guys had a blast. Thanks so much for hanging out today, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, friends, we're gonna get into a time of worship together.
This is a really great opportunity for you to think about God, who He is, and also thank Him for all He's done for you.
Now is a chance for you to get real with yourself and maybe with God. Maybe you had a tough week or a difficult morning, or maybe you had an awesome week. Take some time right now to think about where you're at. You might need to take a moment to pray, or you might just be ready to jump in.
While you worship, feel free to close your eyes, raise your hands. You might even clap and dance around. How you want to worship God is up to you as you think about your relationship with Him. Now, let's get ready to worship together.
Upside down, inside out. I said upside down, inside out. I'm gonna show the world how to live like Jesus. When the world says only care about yourself, Jesus says love everyone else. When the world says get everything that you want, Jesus says what I give you is enough. I wanna live in the upside down kingdom. I wanna live my life be just like Jesus. I wanna shake up this earth by living backwards. Upside down, inside out. I said upside down, inside out. I'm gonna show the world how to live like Jesus. When the world says only care about yourself, Jesus says love everyone else. When the world says get everything that you want, Jesus says what I give you is enough. I wanna live in the upside down kingdom. I wanna live my life be just like Jesus. I wanna shake up this earth by living backwards. Upside down, inside out. I said upside down, inside out. I wanna live in the upside down kingdom. I wanna live my life be just like Jesus. I'm gonna shake up this earth by living backwards. Upside down, inside out. I said upside down, inside out. I'm gonna show the world how to live like Jesus. Gonna show the world how to live like Jesus.
In the darkness, you are righteous. Jesus, you are the rightful King. Never changing, never failing. You've never given up on me. You will take the throne forever. All will bow and say, we will worship you forever young, forever free. So lift up a word, raise up a shout. You are righteous, Jesus, you are the rightful King. Never changing, never failing, you've never given up on me. You'll take the throne forever. All will bow and say, we will worship you forever young, forever free. So lift up a word, raise up a shout. Before the God I love deserves his praises loud. So I will praise his name, praise his holy name, praise his name. Oh, every heart, every tongue confess the glories of his righteousness and praise his name. Oh, we might seem small singing in this room, but we aren't alone. No, we join in a choir of believers, billions strong. We sing praise his name, praise his holy name, praise his name. Whoa. Every heart, every tongue confess the glories of his righteousness and praise his name. Praise his name. Praise his holy name. Praise his name. Glory, 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 oh, glory, oh, glory, hallelujah.
So today we're talking about the tower at Babel, where we see the core of sin isn't breaking the rules, but that it's selfishly going against the God that loves and created us. Sin is when we love ourselves more than God. So Chanel, and you guys, if you had to build a huge tower, what would you build it out of and why?
If I had to build a huge tower, honestly, I'd build it out of marshmallows, because that way, if it fell over, we wouldn't get hurt, and then we could actually just eat the delicious marshmallows afterwards.
Good answer. I will bring the grams and chocolate.
Now, we just need someone to bring a campfire. And like I get excited about s'mores, I'm excited to hear more about the story of this tower and what God does about it.
Me too. In our series, The Outline, we're talking about the huge story of the Bible and our part in that story. We're going to see how God showed us his plan to love and save all humanity from the very start, as early as creation.
This series will show us why we were created in the first place, what we're meant to do with our lives, why life can be so hard sometimes, and how we can't do it without God.
This week, we'll see how our story is tied to the entire story of the Bible by knowing that the whole Bible points to Jesus.
That means we can find the patterns, promises, and presence of Jesus in the Bible. So lean in, because our story starts now.
Imagine if you were working on a group project for school. Raise your hand if you've ever done a group project before. You all sat down together and started talking about what you thought would work the best, what kind of materials you would use, and who would be in charge of which part. You were certain that your group would beat all the other groups who were working on the same project. Your project was going to be the best, A++. As you start the build, everything is going smooth. And you look at your friend and you ask if they can hand you a pair of scissors. And that's when everything changes. Now, they're looking at you like you just sprouted another head. So you repeat yourself. Hey, can you toss me those scissors? Now the whole group was looking at you weird. Everyone started to talk all at once, but all you heard was, Hugri Numi, Wertov Shasho, Mop Quabri Ashuans. What was happening? No one could understand you, and you couldn't understand anyone else either. Now, this might seem like an impossible scenario, but something very similar actually happened to some people in the Bible. Let's check it out. So last week we heard about the flood and God's covenant promise to Noah. After the flood, humanity grew and more humans began to fill the earth. People started to move and spread all over the world. During this time, everyone spoke the same language. Things seemed to be going well for humanity. They even had brand new technology. Was it fire, the wheel, a cell phone? No, it was bricks. Now, bricks might not seem very exciting to us, but it's the ancient equivalent of traveling to space for the first time. It was pretty amazing. So humans came together and decided to show off this genius technology by building a huge city and tall tower in a place called Babylon. So they built the tower, brick by brick by brick by brick. They wanted to reach up to God so they could become famous. They thought everyone would be in awe of how great and smart and powerful they were. They wanted everyone to know who they were. They thought it would help them be safe and always have what they needed. They didn't want to live God's way though. They were proud and full of fear, so they wanted to take the place of God. God saw what they were doing and knew what their motives were. And in order to stop them from building the tower, God confused them by making them all speak different languages so no one could understand each other. Now, it might seem cool to suddenly know a new language, but imagine no longer being able to talk to anyone you love. You couldn't say anything to your parents or brother or sister or best friends because they couldn't understand you. Then God also scattered the humans so they were all far away from each other and lonely. They thought they would become famous, and instead, their pride made them end up completely alone. The tower became known as the Tower of Babel because the word Babel means confused. The story of the Tower of Babel shows us that even after God reset the world through the flood and started it again through Noah's faithful family, humanity still continued to be evil. Humans kept trying to take God's place for themselves. They wanted to be in charge and choose their own way over God's way. That's what sin is all about. So God had to humble them by confusing them. He reminded them that they were not supposed to live life for themselves. They were supposed to live life to show God to others. That's why the one thing to remember is that sin causes us to choose our way over God's way.
Our lives are kind of like this coloring book. Seems pretty simple, right? God created us in a specific way for a specific reason. Just like this coloring book was made with these black and white outlines for a very specific reason, which is being colored in by a kid just like you. God gives us our lives as a gift from Him and tells us that the reason He made us is love and to follow Him. Also sounds pretty simple, right? But when we sin, we are choosing to live life our own way instead of God's way. We are taking God's gift of life and deciding that we don't want it anymore, that we'd rather do things on our own. So we erase and give back the gifts that God has given us. We give them up thinking we might somehow get something better if we do whatever we want. But we end up with absolutely nothing to show for it. When we choose sin, we try to take control of our lives because we think we know more than God. We want to get the credit, we want to look good in front of others, and we want the attention to be on us instead of God. But sin doesn't do what it promises. It always makes things worse and takes us further and further away from God. But the good news is that God sent His Son Jesus to give us back the gift of life through His death on the cross. He gives us a new relationship with Him and a new life that's even better than the one that we had before. That's why it's important to remember that we can glorify God instead of ourselves.
Hey guys, my name is Joel, and I want to tell you about a time I glorified God instead of myself. Now, do any of you guys happen to play baseball or softball? Well, when I was in elementary school, I actually used to play baseball. I played outfield, third, and shortstop, and I was actually pretty good at it. In my second year playing in Little League, I got invited to play for our all-star team, which to me was a big deal. And it was a huge honor for me, so I gladly accepted the invite. And as we practiced and played a couple of games, I realized I had a problem on my hands. I noticed that if I was to keep playing for this all-star team, I was gonna have to miss our church's summer camp. And fun fact, I actually grew up going to Sandals Church, so I can personally attest that the camp our church goes to is incredible. There's beautiful mountains, the pool's amazing, the blob, have you even seen that thing? Oh man, and the worship and the Bible teaching is so good. It's definitely one of the highlights of the year. So I had a tough situation on my hands. Do I play as an all-star in Little League, or do I go to my camp with my church? Essentially, I had to pick between glorifying me or glorifying God. Now, playing baseball made me cool with my friends, especially when I got asked to be an all-star. But I did feel God was telling me not to play baseball, which was really hard, and instead worship Him up at summer camp. So I picked going to camp. And guys, I am telling you, going to camp and glorifying God was the best decision I could have made. It was an unforgettable week of my life and a lot better for me than playing baseball like I thought I wanted to. Just like how I picked to go to summer camp instead of playing baseball, you guys can glorify God instead of yourself too. That's one way my story is tied to God's story, and yours is too.
The Bible says in Psalm 115:1, "It does not belong to us, Lord. The praise belongs to you because of your love and loyalty." The people who tried to build the Tower of Babel were all about one thing: praising and honoring themselves. They sinfully wanted to make themselves famous instead of glorifying God. It didn't turn out very well for them, and when we do the same thing and try to bring glory to ourselves, it will always end up the same for us. That's why the one thing to remember is that sin causes us to choose our way over God's way.
Everything I ever needed, everything. You're a light in the darkness. You're water for my thirst and the craziness I see. You are holding everything, oh. You're everything I ever needed. All things were made through Him. Nothing was made without Him. In Him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. When it feels like my life is caving in, you're holding it. You're everything I ever needed. All things were made through Him. Nothing was made without Him. In Him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world. All things were made through him. Nothing was made without him. In him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. All things were made through him. Nothing was made without him. In him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world.
Let's take a quick look at our verse for the series. It comes from John chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. And it says, all things were made through Jesus. Nothing was made without him. In him there was life. That life was the light for the people of the world.
We hope you learned something new. And remember, the one thing for today is sin causes me to choose my way over God's way.
And what can you do about that? You can glorify God instead of yourself. We hope you will want to glorify God more than yourself because you see God's deep and unfailing love for you.
You guys, we've had so much fun hanging out with you, and we'll see you next time for a brand new series.